Back, everyone. It is game 4 between BMF and the Alliance. They're playing in the top bracket finals of Myth World Cup 1999. And so far, BMF has a 3-0 lead, as well as a 38-point lead. Or 42-point lead, rather. Might put the match out of reach for Alliance, I believe. But we will see through that. These final 2 games of consolation are checked out. And City Hunter just showing up for Alliance. And Zap taking over as captain. Joining them, Lord Fight Ghost, Red Dog, Synapsed, Opus, and Fong Sayuk. And BMF led by Papa Scrub. He's joined by Scorpio, Bullseye, Hunted, Dark Knight, Loser 2, Mythser, and Thoran. Noting any changes in the strategies here, not much. Looks like BMF going for the same type of strategy. This time, Alliance is captained by Zap, and his approach is go puzzless. Archer and Dwarf count pretty much the same. And so are the unit trading compositions, rather. BMF with more dwarves, Alliance opting for more archers. But we'll see how it goes here. Zap taking 31% for his team. He must be in control of the pigs, and I imagine Scorpio also in control of his team's pigs, as well as a Malay force. In fact, he has every warrior, every pig, and every Stygian knight for his team. Papa Scrub telling his team to hold on to your percentages.
Game on.
And the game will kick off. Let's stick it to auto camera for a bit. It seems like at this point BMF has earned their spot in the Myth World Cup finals. As the maximum amount of points scored here let's see. Maximum amount of points you can score in Stampede is 20. So Alliance would need to get the 20 points here, and next map is Allies Venice, I believe. And you can max your opponents on that for 22, so it would actually be a full-on tie. Alliance is still in it, but they need a full sweep here and in that final game to get the combined 42 points to match up with BMF's 42 points. Of course, that would be 42 points across 2 games compared to 42 points across 3 games. Interesting enough. And I suppose, you know, earlier I was making comments on how maybe, you know, the territories shouldn't be used in the scoring system that's used here in Myth World Cup 1999. Perhaps the Terry's games should come later, but in this circumstance, those early territories games only worth 17 points apiece. So it really goes in ascending point gain from 17, 17 again, but then 20 points, the final game, 22 points. So Butcher knew what he was doing, and as usual, I have no clue. But let's see here. BMF moving around the western part of the map, similar to last game. Alliance not holding on to the same type of mid-ground vision. And Papa Scrub cares less about his team being seen this time, saying just push on through. He might actually expect better scouting in the east and the west, as Alliance seemed to have been taken by surprise, as they were shortly commenting right before their opponent's units were in vision that there was definitely nothing in the west. Come to find out, that's where the action was. We'll see Bulls getting harassed by Lord Ficos here. Feng Sayuk's goals just out of range of Loser 2's high ground archers. And Bull's goals gonna retreat to the high ground here. And Lord Ficos won't go for the kills, actually. Judging by percentages, I missed a kill somewhere by the Alliance against BMF. So I don't believe BMF has any pus. You'll notice Zap putting satchels up on the high ground. That might not be effective unless BMF took that high ground. And BMF getting close to the side gates over here. Lord Ficos calling for the retreat between him and Opus. They definitely do not have enough to take out their opponents over here. We have some adjustments by the Alliance team. They're going to move their archers up to a high ground position, much closer to the BMF advance. And I'm surprised they're keeping the pigs up on the high ground once again. I suppose just in case a goal slips through by BMF to harass and kill them, but they should have learned from last game that they do need quite a bit of time to get to their opponent's fort. Right now we have 8 minutes 30 seconds left. This is around the time where all the action happened in the previous game. Over in just a few short minutes. There was about 5 minutes remaining by the time Alliance got into gear and moved on the offensive. In a 14-minute game, that's with this quite large, or at least long, rather, I should say tall map. It puts your team at a disadvantage if you have to push or assault a position. And BMF holding while Bulls dodges around with his goals. But BMF actually getting surrounded here. Lord Ficos has moved his goals around to the rear of the BMF position. If left unchecked, it should be able to harass some archers and pigs. It looks like Loser 2 losing all of his goals up here in the northeast. Zap saying check our east, but if you know the count of the units on the map, you can see here that there's max Stygenes, max warriors for BMF down here in the southwest. We'll have to see if their assault works out once again. I mean, as you'll notice, throughout these 4 games and repeated maps, all those archers going down pretty quickly there. Synapsed, ready to do work with those dwarves. What you'll notice is the teams don't change their strategy up often. I mean, even with the change of captain between games 3 and 4 on Cracks in the Cloud Spine, we see the same strategy employed here, where you have the pigs just waiting on reserve, nothing moving out with them really, a large focus on the defense for Alliance, and Papa Scrub just repeating his strategies every time. Definitely confident about how he prepared them. And Fong Sai saying, we need to think about moving soon. Not yet, Fong. I mean, you have 5 minutes and 45 seconds left. You might want to move now. And Zap telling him to go. Which is not a bad idea, but I don't know if Alliance will be able to commit enough to the offense here. It looks like BMF is gonna back off.
Five minutes remaining.
And as the game progresses, BMF looking to move their units mid. We got Opus in hot pursuit, as well as Zapped. And Alliance starting to set out on the offense, but they really have no time left. We got 3 minutes 40 seconds. Last time it was 3 minutes 40 seconds remaining. I think they were a bit farther up on the map. And Lord Ficos noticing way too late. There's 3 minutes remaining. These pigs are quite a bit away. And BMF getting surrounded here. Not anything substantial, but the pigs are being threatened, or at least pressured. And now we have City Hunter moving up with all of his archers. I mean, that one Stygian can pressure all these if he doesn't know how to double stab. And City Hunter gonna drop some flame arrows, none able to reach the pigs, unfortunately. And all those arrows getting blocked by the Stygian Knight of Scorpio. BMF still confident they might have time to score in the end zone of Alliance before it's over. Alliance 2 minutes out from the end of the game. Maybe they still have a potential to score all of them at the very last second, but I highly doubt it. As last time they were at 1 minute and up here, and they still are quite a bit longer than 40 seconds out. But anyway, we got Fong Sai coming in and harass the pigs. One of these pigs gonna go down, Red Dog dropping in the flame arrows, and we get a barbecue. And quite a number of pigs going down. Just count the kills by the archers and melee. Or just look at what's left. There's only 5 pigs remaining for BMF, 15 of them going down there, so.
1 minute remaining.
It's not enough to take out all of BMF's pigs. They got 4 remaining, and with a minute left, it does in fact seem like Alliance's pigs are out of position from reaching the end zone. BMF gonna take this. I don't think they have time to get in to the Alliance end zone either. So it looks like this game will end in an 0-on-0 tie. And that is gonna give BMF the match victory. They will be moving on into the finals. We'll have to see if they rematch the Alliance, who will be sent to the bottom bracket to play against one of the 2 remaining teams in the bottom bracket, which are Civil and Glue the Moose. So that wraps it up. Looking at the team stats, Alliance doing a lot more damage than their opponents this game. Perhaps that's because this end rush of units in the northeast never quite reaching the end zone or range of opposing artillery. BMF 25 and 190, Alliance 39 369. Checking out the graphs, BMF never had a kill or damage advantage. Able to come away with the tie though, and the match win. Looking at the individual player stats, Papa Scrub 2 and 0 with 24 damage, Scorpio 15 and 26 with 100 damage, Thoran 5 and 1 with 33 damage, Hunted HDK 3 and 0 with 11 damage, Loser 2 0 and 5 with 5 damage, and Bullseye 0 and 3 with 1 damage. Not exactly the best stats you could have in a match victory, but I'm sure BMF will take it as they move on here. And next up for Alliance, their individual player stats, we have Zap 8 and 11, 69 damage, Red Dog 13 and 9, 15 damage, Synapsed 8 and 0, 39 damage, Opus 2 and 2, 15 damage, Lord Phikos 1 and 4, 0 damage, Fong Sayuk 6 and 0, 52 damage, City Hunter 1 kill, no losses, 34 damage. And that's the tale of Game 4's tape. BMF moving on to the finals. Alliance moving on to the bottom bracket finals, and I will be moving on to Game 5. It's Venice Allies captures, I believe. So we'll have to see how that game turns out. And thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the cast. Stay tuned to your next view. Have a good one.